Here's Patrick digging into a Krabby Patty in the middle of the night.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
And here's Patrick devouring a tower of ice cream. This starfish eats food like it's going out of fashion, but how much grub has he shoved down his gullet over the years? Well, I'm here to tell you. And by the end, we'll have seen how Pat went from a greedy starfish to a complete gut bucket to then becoming Bikini Bottom's walking food vacuum. And we're gonna do that by counting all the calories this supersized star has eaten. Starting with the time he had so much soda pop, he nearly went pop. Going around to your friend's house for dinner is usually a pretty straightforward thing, pretty standard, unless you live on Con Street. Because in the episode Naughty Nautical Neighbors, we see a dinner turn pretty explosive. If you get the usual stuff going on at first, Sponge and Pat are goofing around and annoying Squidward while he tries to relax. So what does Squiddy do when he sees the two friends having some innocent fun? He starts meddling.
Patrick, you are the dumbest idiot it has ever been my misfortune to know.
Oh, come on, there's no need for that. Well, Squidward's plan works and he drives a wedge between them, but don't worry, karma soon catches up to the squid. And who comes to literally save his life? Patrick. Obviously, Squidward is pretty grateful to him, but when SpongeBob sees that Squiddy and Patrick are buddy-buddy now, he wants to cut in on the new friend action, so he tries to cozy up to Squidward himself. That just leads to an all-out war between the pair to prove to Squidward which one of them is his real friend. So, to put an end to the war, Squidward invites the two around to his house.
I am your best friend!
Well, how about some soda, guys?
Please. Thanks, friend.
If you think they're gonna jealousy fight over who gets the most soda, then you'd be absolutely right.
I still didn't get any.
There you go. More, please.
Squidward!
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 Hey, Squidward!
One eternity later.
Squidward!
Hey, Squidward!
Whoa, slow down, boys. No one's gonna take the soda off you. Ah, who am I kidding? They won't listen to me.
Squidward!
Patrick, your glass is full.
Oh, yeah.
Squidward!
Hey, Squidward!
Squidward!
Hey, Squidward!
Squidward!
Squidward! Squidward!
Sorry, boys, I'm all out of pop. I'm gonna go get some more.
As we just saw, drinking all that stuff can be good for them, but hey, at least while Squid's away, the pair can finally hash it out, or something like that, anyway. Well, that soda's gonna make you pretty gassy. And I did tell you guys things were gonna get explosive.
I invited them in, and I left them alone.
Patrick downed 12 whole glasses of soda in no time at all there, and along with the sugary drink, 1,668 calories. If he can put that away in less than 30 seconds, imagine what he can do in a whole day. Or more importantly, imagine what he could put away if he was faced with an entire buffet, which is exactly what happens in the episode Club SpongeBob. But before that, he and SpongeBob have to set up their own super secret club, and Squidward wants to join.
Welcome to our club!
Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward!
Shut your half-wit pie hole!
Yeah, I know initiations are usually weird and wild, but I'd rather eat wallpaper paste than listen to that. Well, things are gonna get worse for Squiddy because the clubhouse is sitting on top of a massive kelp tree. And the trio are stuck in that little tiny box. So to get out, Squidward tries to pull the clubhouse down, but it doesn't end well.
Make a wish, honey.
Now, if he wasn't happy being stuck with SpongeBob and Patrick and Bikini Bottom, I can only imagine what he's gonna be like when he realizes he's stranded with them two in the middle of frackin' nowhere.
Stuck in the middle of nowhere with SpongeBob and Patrick.
They don't seem as worried though, and that's because they have the magic conch.
What do we need to do to get out of the kelp forest?
Nothing.
Nothing. So they're just gonna let themselves waste away while in the jungle? Well, not quite. This isn't just any old conch. Like I said, it's a magic conch. If the boys do as it says, the conch will provide, which makes Squidward feel like a total idiot.
is the magic conch!
Doing all that nothing for a few days is really taking it out of the boys, especially Patrick. So he wastes no time digging into what the gods have given. Man, that chicken looks so good, but I'd be stuffed if I had what he just wolfed down. This is Patrick's star we're talking about, though.
SpongeBob, that sure is a lot of food you got there.
2 family-sized pies go down the hatch without any problem at all, and those things sure pack the calories down to the buttery, flaky crust. Poor Squidward, though, he is starving. Just to let him have a bite.
Sausage is my favorite.
Eating 28 sausages in front of Squidward when they're his favorite food is pretty mean, but Pat's appetite has always been supersized. Come on, guys, why don't you just ask the conch to see if Squidward can join in on the feast?
Could Squidward have some of this yummy, delicious, super terrific sandwich?
No.
Could I have this yummy, delicious, super terrific sandwich?
Yes.
All right!
I guess this is why you need to have faith sometimes. If Squidward had believed in the conch from the start, he wouldn't have had this problem. Either way, he tries asking the conch himself.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Can't you say anything else but no?
Try asking again.
Can I have something to eat?
No.
No, that last one was personal. Don't worry though, Squiddy, an explorer is nearby and he'll take you back to civilization and sanity.
Magic conch?
You mean like this?
The magic conch!
I guess scratch that sanity part, but hey, at least Patrick got to eat. And boy, did he! For someone who's meant to be stranded, he put away a decent amount of food. 14,546 calories worth, to be precise. Which is more than enough food to push Patrick onto his morbidly obese era. Chewing and swallowing is clearly Pat's favorite pastime. He even loves eating more than he loves his best friend. Like, remember the time he stepped up to the plate and stole SpongeBob's cookies from his grandma?
Keep them coming, Granny!
So much for no more baby stuff.
The cookie-eating hat.
Hey, that's my cookie-eating hat.
Man, a warm glass of milk and cookies sure does look good right about now. Maybe Patrick's in the right to take those.
What are you doing? Cookies? Warm milk? A bib? Is that a kissy mark on your forehead? We are supposed to be adults!
No roughhousing with the baby.
I'm the baby!
But there's more cookies where that came from, as old Grammy SquarePants seemingly has a never-ending supply.
Right! Rewards, huh?
Let's see, we went over the jazz.
So what can Patrick wash down 2 dozen cookies with? I know, another dozen cookies. 36 whole cookies in one sitting is enough to put anyone into a frackin' coma, but not our boy Pat. He barely breaks a sweat. Speaking of sweat though, he can work up one hell of an appetite depending on what he's doing, like the time he became a parent with SpongeBob and his appetite went through the roof.
Parenting stuff makes me hungry. Hey, Junior, how you doing today?
Dang, he ate the cardboard and glass too. I'm not actually sure if glass has any calories. Either way, don't eat it. I know we've just seen Patrick eat like a farmyard animal, but he takes that to a whole new level in the episode Farmer Bob. Basically, he and SpongeBob have to give Old Man Jenkins a helping hand around the farm. But when it's time to feed the worm hogs, Patrick takes a shine to their slop.
Slop?
Now, we don't actually see how much of that disgusting stuff he eats, but seeing as it's Patrick, let's say he eats what an average pig would during a sitting, 4 pounds, which works out to 6,200 calories, but that is nothing compared to the next binge session. When you've got an insatiable appetite like Patrick does, you need a hell of a lot of money to keep paying for all your frackin' food. And while he does pretty well for a dumb starfish who lives under a frackin' rock, he's not made of money, which Mr. Krabs has to find out the hard way. But before we get to that, let's see how many Krabby Patties he wolfs down. There's 50 patties with 4 slices of American cheese each there. The cheese alone clocks in at 12,000 calories, but there's one teeny tiny problem about all this. And no, it's not all the fat clogging his arteries. Patrick doesn't have any money to pay.
Paid customer!
You're gonna pay. One way or another.
To pay off his patty debt, Patrick is forced to work in the Krusty Krabs. Mr. K gives him the job of mopping the toilets.
So, Patrick, how are you? What in blazes did you do?
I accidentally tried the hand soap. It doesn't taste as good as it smells.
Obviously, I don't recommend anyone eat hand soap, but it actually contains 5 calories per teaspoon. So that's like 48 teaspoons of soap or 240 calories worth of soot, which will not help him hit his macros. So for this literal pig out session, Patrick has managed to put away a belly-busting total of 56,365 calories. A sign of a good friend is being there for someone when they need you the most, and that's exactly what Patrick did for SpongeBob when he got rejected from being the manager at the second Krusty Krab restaurant. Although he did make it a little bit more awkward for his friend when he did this. With both of them needing to drown their sorrows, they head to their regular watering hole, Goofy Goobers. But they don't serve anything alcoholic there, oh no, just as many ice cream sundaes as you can manage.
I'm not in a goober mood.
Okay.
And here's your triple gooberberry sunrise, sir.
Just look at the size of that thing. Like, actually imagine that in real life. Can you imagine eating that? It has 2 gigantic scoops of ice cream followed by 3 whole bananas, chocolate candy, a licorice smile, syrup, chocolate sauce, and last but not least, 3 cherries. Being fairly conservative, all that stuff is gonna cost Pat 2,685 calories per sundae. So how many of them does he knock back?
Boy, Pat, that hit the spot.
I know a lot of that ice cream is being flung at the poor waiter, but I think it's fair to count the full amount of calories here still, because like I said, I've been fairly conservative with that amount. The guys put away the sundae in no time. I think we can expect the calorie counter to shoot through the roof here.
Mr. Waiter, 2 more, please.
Woo! This is during a bit of an eating montage, so we might not see Pat eat all of his sweet treats, but we can see 3 empty bowls next to him there, as well as the next one he orders, and the ones after that.
Why do I always get the nuts?
Hey, they're kicking back and enjoying life after a rough day, you gotta respect it. Especially as by my count, Pat sunk in 19 extra sundaes there, which is worth a whopping 51,015 calories. So when you add all that up, blowing off some steam with his buddy has racked up a total of 62,705 calories. I actually don't know what's more impressive, the sheer volume of ice cream he's eaten or the fact he's never gotten a brain freeze. At the halfway mark now, Patrick has managed to stuff his face with a total of 145,014 calories worth of food. But that, my dear viewer, is still child's play compared to what we've got coming up on the menu. Believe me, he's about to show us why he's known as Bikini Bottom's resident food vacuum. It's not really a secret that Patrick loves his fair share of Krabby Patties, but did you know there was a time when he was the face of the Krabby Patty? Well, it all started when Mr. Krabs realized he was wasting a fortune by not putting his patties out to be made as a ready meal, you know, in the frozen section. So he decides he's gonna enter that market and make a commercial of his own.
They're in your grocer's freezer section. Have delicious Krabby Patties anytime. Buy them. I want your money.
Not the most professional or persuasive advert I've ever seen, but anyway, Krabs decides to take it to the biggest ad agency in Bikini Bottom, hoping they'll be able to spruce up his ad, and they waste no time in getting things into action.
Krabby Patties, like a friend, but edible.
Krabby Patties, the shut-in's favorite patty. Finally, Krabby Patties. Shove them in your mouth hole.
Nah, there's something still a bit off about these potential ads. Well, that's where Patrick comes in.
The Krabby Patties, they taste so nice that they taste nice.
Yep, Patrick's star is the star of the frozen fast food down to the Krusty Krab, which means he gets to eat Krabby Patties every time an advert is made. But before we get into the numbers, let's see if the frozen goods are a hit.
Sales are going all the way up to the surface of the ocean. Here's your first check.
Oh yeah, they're a hit. And it's all thanks to the big pink starfish himself. But how many patties did he get to sink in from that fortune?
Tastes so nice.
That was his 400th advert? I know they're selling well and all, but surely at this point it's slave labor. Because we don't actually see all the adverts, we're gonna have to assume that he only eats 1/2 of a patty every time, and that's without taking into account different takes. But if we're really conservative here, let's say over the 400 commercials, he eats 200 patties, which clocks in alone at 116,000 calories. Obviously, we already saw him eat one earlier, so that's 199 in terms of the tally. As you saw in that clip though, eating all this frozen, heavily processed garbage is really taking its toll on old Patty. And he's not the only one. They're giving people who eat them really strange side effects.
Looks like you've been hitting the patties pretty hard there.
Speak for yourself!
So SpongeBob realizes he's gonna have to get Patrick back on his side in order to expose the truth about the patties. So he does what he knows best and whips up a real patty to show his friend what the old Krusty Krab taste is like.
Eat another one of those things! Now that's a real Krabby Patty.
Turns out the new frozen patties are made with sand. So SpongeBob tells Pat to go to his big 400th advert party and tell all of his big wigs the news. Let's just say, don't go down that well.
And in shocking news today, it has been revealed that frozen Krabby Patties are made with sand.
So, with his frozen food venture now out of business, Mr. Krabs has to eat his humble pie and return back to the Krusty Krab, where SpongeBob and Patrick are doing what they do best, flipping and eating real Krabby Patties.
SpongeBob, did you do all this?
Absolutely.
A friend always helps. It's called Frelping.
If he wasn't paid handsomely for his role as the face of the frozen Krabby Patty, Pat sure was paid a lot in food. Over the course of his rise to stardom, sand or no sand, Patrick put away a total of 117,570 calories, or 65 whole Thanksgiving turkeys, which I'm pretty sure Pat would have rather had, because at least they wouldn't have been made out of sand. They say there are only 3 sure things in life: death, taxes, and Patrick Star being a formidable eater. Well, it's about time he put that title to the test. In What's Eating Patrick is the Bikini Bottom annual eating contest, and there's an undefeated champion with no challengers.
No takers for McNulty challenging.
He's the current champion.
What is that supposed to mean?
He only needs to eat 1 patty to win.
The reason why Mr. Krabs is so upset is because he usually supplies the competition, meaning he makes a quick buck. But because of the fact that no one's willing to take on McNulty, he's gonna lose out on his money. So who does he turn to save his wallet? Patrick.
47 Krabby Patties, please. I had a big breakfast, so I'm not that hungry.
Ah, dumb and hungry.
Patrick agrees to fight in the corner opposite the champ, but first Krabs is gonna have to train him up if he'll ever be able to defeat McNulty. Or, you know, eat loads and loads of patties so Krabs can line his pockets.
Son, can you eat faster?
Oh, faster.
He's got some way to go before he can take on the champ then, but don't worry, Krabs keeps the training up.
What's your hometown hero, Patrick Star? They are the malevolent mouth from 3 towns. They Sunday, and see who takes the Patty Bell Town's over. Oswald McNulty.
Hey, he's getting the hang of this, isn't he? Maybe McNulty's in danger. Well, let's find out. They've both got 5 minutes to eat as many patties as they possibly can. Although Patrick isn't really feeling up to the whole contest thing.
Yes, it hurts my taste feelings.
Here.
What's that?
That is a bill. Are all the people that are counting on you, son.
So it's either a lifetime of debt or go through with the eating contest. And it's a no-brainer for Pat. He just sucks it up and tries his best.
But wait! Patrick Star is on the move, and it looks like McNulty can feel the heat. Never has there been a more prodigious display of competitive eating.
Looks like the champ is getting a bit hot under the collar, because here comes the best to ever challenge him, and Patrick knows he can get the better of him.
Patty's being consumed is astounding. And now, yes, Patrick Star has matched Oswald McNulty. Come into the home stretch. Both eaters are now so full they can barely eat.
The patty wall is now in sight. Both eaters are nearing their limits, but only one sea creature can come out on top. Who will it be?
We are tied in patties eaten, and neither one seems to have the room to go on. Down goes McNulty. Down goes McNulty.
But with both of them on 999 patties, Patrick needs to jam down one final burger in order to win. Has he got the room?
Here you go, champ. You can.
And Patrick
He beats McNulty into sandwich submission, being crowned the true eating king of Bikini Bottom, and all he had to do was consume a total of 590,150 calories, which is about 8 months worth of energy for a full-grown elephant. Also 10,000 times heavier than your average starfish. There's something much more palatable coming up on the menu for Pat now, though, because in the episode Back to the Past, there's a certain sauce that tickles his taste buds. But before we get to that, Pat and Sponge have to help Bikini Bottom's resident heroes. As a little thank you for saving them, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy offer the pair a little look around their locker of memorabilia, which has all sorts of stuff in it. You know, Man Ray's glove, Dirty Bubbles' wand, oh, and a whole time machine.
And this is our time machine. This device allows us to transport into the future or past.
There's one problem with showing SpongeBob and Patrick a time machine that could alter the fabric of reality, though. They love touching stuff they're not supposed to.
The snack machine took my quarter. I want my crunchity munchity.
Thanks to Pat, the entire team ends up being sent back to the past to the day where Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy stopped Man Ray as he was about to take over the world. The only problem is they stopped him with tartar sauce, and Patrick loves tartar sauce.
Now prepare for a heaping helping of quick-drying tartar sauce.
Jumpin' jellyfish, Mermaid Man. What happened to...
I know there's some folk out there that love that sauce, but could they really eat an industrial vat of the stuff? In less than 2 minutes, no less? In a blind panic, Pat and Sponge run back to the time machine and hit the back button, leaving their heroes stranded in the past, but hey, at least they're back in the present-day Bikini Bottom.
Back in good old present-day Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, we all saw that one coming. They also find that the new present-day versions of their heroes are working at a Man Ray-ified version of the Krusty Krab, but with a twist. They use tartar sauce.
We're already out?
Yep.
It's genuinely impossible for anyone to like that stuff this much. To try and defeat Man Ray and correct their mistake, the crew go back in time once more, but are defeated each time, leading to more and more versions of themselves going back to undo the mess. So throughout the course of this super time-traveling caper, Pat managed to wolf down his whole body weight in tartar sauce. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with how calorific the stuff is, but for both vats, he's managed to pack away 970,688 calories. Just goes to show that Pat's eyes really aren't bigger than his belly. So if we add up all the buffets and burgers this behemoth has had, our running total comes out to a mega 1,823,422 calories. But hold on to your knives and forks, because so far, I've only really shown you the mammoth meals that Patrick has, you know, the outliers. But what does a usual eating day look like for the big pink starfish? Well, it usually starts with a heaping can full of coral. Then to keep him going in the mid-morning, Pat will tuck into something easy like this jar of tartar sauce.
Patrick?
Did you say something?
That won't keep him satisfied for long, as he'll have to head to the Krusty Krab for his lunch, and it's usually a pretty big one.
Why?
That thing is easily 3 times bigger than a regular Krabby Patty, so let's triple our usual 580 to 1,740 calories, which is nearly a regular person's daily amount alone. We're only at noon, too. So Pat's got a long wait before dinner, which means more snacks, and at this point, he'll usually have anything he can get his hands on, like a literal snail food.
Good stuff.
Now on land, snails don't eat kibble. I don't think they eat it underwater either, but seeing as Gary meows, it's only fair that we say Pat just ate the equivalent of a kilogram bag of cat kibble, which usually clocks in at 3,500 calories. Now, if you thought eating snail food was disgusting, Patrick has had more than his fair share of revolting snacks, like the time he had some SpongeBob's peanut onion sundae. There won't be a lot of calories in that monstrosity. This is just to show you guys the sort of crazy cuisine he lets slide down his throat on a daily basis. After he's had a few snacks, that'll usually bring Pat to his dinner, and where else does he go than back to the Krusty Krab? Or in this case, Krusty Towers, where he shares 50 patties of SpongeBob.
I need you to eat these Krabby Patties with me.
Oh, yes, sir.
Obviously, this is a pretty big meal, but his other snacks have been fairly conservative, so I'd say it balances itself out across the days. But there's still one more meal of the day to go, his dessert. And in this case, it's of the marshy and mellowy variety.
Yummy! Patrick and SpongeBob, the deliciousness has landed!
Which means that on average, regular day, Patrick usually puts away around 21,420 calories. No wonder he looks like this.
Took my only food! Now I'm gonna starve!
The show has been on air since 1999, which means Pat has had, at the time I wrote this, 9,524 approximate days in Bikini Bottom. So, if we multiply that number by his average daily intake of 21,420, we get a grand total of 204,009,080 calories, which is enough to keep a full-sized human going for about 274 years. Yeah, you didn't hear that wrong. Patrick Star has put away enough food that would last 3.5 lifetimes. Not bad for a little sea critter. If you haven't quite hit your cartoon quota for the day, then don't worry, I got you covered. There's another great video like this one coming up on screen right about now, so give it a click, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.